Hey everyone, how's it going? I am getting a new custom mountain banjo out the door pretty soon. I'm just stringing it up, and I wanted to take this time to show you all a little bit about how to go about putting on some of these Aquila Nylgut strings. I love these strings a lot. They are the classic banjo all Nylgut set. I put them on pretty much any of my banjos that are going out the door with nylon. So what we have going on with one of my mountain banjos is there's a staple in the back, right on the bottom there, and they get tied onto there. And I wanted to talk about these strings because some people have been having some questions about them. They take a while to sort of stretch in, but I'm going to show you what I do. So first of all, you're going to tie just a regular square knot in the bottom here. Give it a little bit of The thing I'm going to show you about these strings especially is that you do not have to be gentle with them. So when I tie this knot, I'm going to be stretching all along the way here, and you can really give it a good pull. You just have to make sure you pull down the full length of the string so that you're not stretching it unevenly. So really don't be afraid to give it a good tug. The thinner ones you can pull too hard, so that's going to pull the knot tight, but more importantly what it's going to be doing is it's going to be breaking it in, right? So you get basically just the knot at the end there. You feed it through, just straight down. And then you're just going to tie another knot with the thinner strings. So you're just going to do a regular old square knot, right? With the thinner strings, I like to go through one more time. And with the knot you tied, the first knot you tied is going to serve as just a stop, so that when you pull it through, it'll catch there. Sometimes, as you see with this middle one I already tied on, you'll have a little bit of stuff left over, and that knot actually didn't go all the way, and that's fine if it doesn't do that. That's just there in case it doesn't. You can cut that off in the end. So now that that's on there, like I said, you can really pull pretty hard. And that's just going to break it in so that when you're playing it doesn't take forever to stretch, and then end up having 5 miles of string wound around the peg here. So you bring that, and there's no need to give yourself a lot of excess because of how much it'll stretch. Once you get to the peg here, you're just going to do one more square knot. Feed it under or over, it doesn't matter, it goes through. And then there's a knot there. And you can pull that pretty tightly too. And then you just wind it around, keeping it tight the whole time. So as you're doing that, you're going to want to make sure you hold the string down, and you're always going to want the string to be wound towards the bottom of the peg, or towards the peg head, I should say, so that you're getting that maximum angle possible. So what I do now is, if you hear the pitch, I do this. Like I said, do not be afraid to really give it some tug. Now you can hear it's already dropped significantly. Just keep winding. And as you do it more, you'll get used to how much tension there should be. That's a little tight, but that's okay for now, because when we get it strung up, we'll have everything going perfect. Now, I will say too, at the end here, you want everything to be centered. So now you can see that string has gone off to the side. We want it to be as close in tight to that middle string as possible. And this is what I always do, guys. I always put on the middle string first. That helps me just make sure everything is lined up and centered correctly, as well as starts to put tension on more evenly, as well as makes it so I can space these out more evenly down at the bottom here. And on new builds, I do it just in case there are any kind of alignment issues. I can see right away that the center string goes straight up through the center and everything is perfect. So that's all there is to it, to those strings. You can leave this excess on if you want. I usually, just because it starts getting in the way, and if it gets on the strings, when I'm doing a new build, I need to be able to hear if any of the buzzing, if there's buzzing, and if so, where it's coming from, so I can make sure I isolate it. Maybe just refiling a nut groove or a bridge groove, something like that, or maybe it's a little more serious. But so I usually just trim it off to give about that. That will give you plenty. It gives you enough to where if you have to take the string off and put it back on, you have enough to work with before I do the final trimming, especially on this 5th string peg, because there'll be a lot of excess and that will start to hang over the strings, so that you can cut pretty short too right away. But that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, these are the Aquila Classic Banjo Nylgut strings. Have a nice day.